What I want to do today is explain the percussive tapping technique that's done on acoustic and electric guitar. I'm going to explain it on the acoustic guitar though. Basically what the technique does is adds a percussive element to your playing. Typically this is going to occur on beats 2 and 4 of a series of chords or a chord progression that you are playing in a song. Let's get right into the percussive tapping technique. First of all, there are two ways to approach the technique. You can do it while you're using a pick, or you can do it playing fingerstyle. So let's start fingerstyle, as that is the more typical way of approaching tapping. First, you assume that you are playing a chord that is 4 strings because you're going to use the 4 fingers of your right hand, your thumb, index, middle, and ring finger. I'm going to use open strings for the initial demonstration. So you will strike, let's say, the inside 4 strings. Let's strike them 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's take it further and let's substitute a tap for beats 2 and 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, you are creating a backbeat sound that is typical of what a drummer would play. A drummer would hit the kick drum on beat 1, and then a snare on beat 2, a kick drum on beat 3, and a snare on beat 4. So then you have a sound that starts to create a really cool rhythmic effect. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now you see that you've added a little bit more life into the pattern. Let's do it while using a chord. Let's just take A minor, for example. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's go to a C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do an F chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a G chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a really basic way to approach the tapping technique. Let me go through that chord progression. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and do the same technique again, but this time we're going to use a pick. We're going to strum on beat 1. So I'm going to mute out the strings for this one. And then come down with my hand on beat 2. So it is strum, click. So when I do it with a pick, I take this approach. I'll strum the chord on beat 1. I'm just muting out the strings. And then I come down for beat 2, where I do a strum and a palm mute at the same time. So let's go strum. Let me do it with a chord, A minor. C. G. I'm going to take a different approach with the chords. Let's do G, D, and then C, or C add 9, and then G. Now let's go to D, C, and back to G. That's with the pick. Now let's do that fingerstyle. when you're doing it fingerstyle, when you get these bigger chords, the 6-string chords, and you're not just playing the inside 4 strings, you have to decide what strings you want to use. For G, at the beginning, I used the 6th string, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. For D, I used the top 4. And that's not always the case. There are times when I'll do D with an F sharp and a bass. I might do that, where I play 6, 4, 3, and 2. And then back to C, I can either play the inside 4 strings, C at 9, sorry, or I can play the 5th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, or the inside 4. And then back to G. So it's up to you what strings you want to use in terms of your attack on the regular sounding chords on beats 1 and 3. Let's look at one more way to approach this tapping technique. And that is a semi-strum. It's like a shortened strum. So if we go back to inside chords and do A minor, this one you have to be careful on, because after you strum the A minor chord, you need to mute it. This one you have to be careful on, because after you strum the A minor chord, you need to mute it with this hand also. Because you want the click, you don't want the chord to sound, and if you just hold on to the chord, you're going to get chord sounds. You want beats 2 and 4 to be a percussive sound. As you see, I'm squeezing down on the chord and letting go just as I do that semi-strum. As you can see, what my right hand is doing, it's articulating the chord, and then it swipes downward as if you were going to strum. But being that you have the strings muted, you get the click sound. And what you want to do is a real quick movement. It's kind of opening your hand. That's why I call it a semi-strum. You're not really hearing a strummed chord, you're hearing more of a click. That is our first look into the tapping technique. There are more ways to tap that I will show you in the second installment. So go ahead and work on those techniques. Take your time. Make sure you're getting a nice clean sound on your taps, and try a variety of chord progressions or run chords from a song you already know. All right, I'll see you in the next installment.